Is it just me, or has there been a black pill meta going on YouTube lately? I just keep getting recommended these videos of people complaining about cost of living, affordability of housing, stuff like that. And yeah, it is kind of bad, but like none of these people talk about like ways to get around this, or maybe that their expectations to begin with are just too high. Um, and I mean, maybe I'm like some sort of Uncle Tom going on here. Uh, until recently, historically, it was pretty common for people to live with their family for a long time, or having roommates, stuff like that. Uh, I got out of college and got in my first apartment by myself, where I was paying rent, and it was like really pretty high. And after a year after that lease expired, I decided that, hey, living by myself is kind of, although it's nice and convenient, it's not the best way to save money. And saving money when you're young is where it's the most important. Uh, so after that year lease expired, I decided to end up moving in with roommates for like $650 a month. Like all the utilities and stuff are included. It's like college housing, or meant for college students. So it's pretty nice and convenient. I stayed there for a few years. Um, Point being that my rent went from like $1,100 a month plus utilities, internet, all that other garbage, probably $1,300 a month, down to 650. I saved half of my living expenses by making that decision, which is a large. It's a lot of money. That money adds up, especially when you if you invest that $600 difference into something. Growing up, I took a few economic classes, and they showed how just important it is to invest money into things like stocks or other stuff. I would strongly recommend taking or looking into how economics works. It's pretty advantageous to save money and invest it into things, because you're looking to retire sooner rather than later. These people that are they do the black pill stuff. They don't really talk about saving money at all. They're just talking about how miserable they are and how they're out of money all the time. And that should be a red flag. That if you're broke all the time, you have to make these decisions to have net gain over the years, or months, or weeks. Otherwise, you're just gonna be living paycheck to paycheck and being miserable, stressing over bills constantly. Um, yeah, I get how nice it is to improve your quality of living by living alone, but financially, it's not the greatest decision. Um, So, in order to practice what I'm trying to preach here about these black pill channels bringing up stuff and not really giving a solution, I decided to talk about the reasons I chose my financial decisions. Hey, some Luigi. We've got a man here with a cardboard box on the side of the street that represents me, homeless. I've got my avocado toast. We've got the age old, the holy grail, the mythical $1 McChicken. God rest in peace. Now, none of this is financial advice. I don't think anything I say will be relative or related to financial advice. This is just what I did and how it's going. A lot of this is about opportunity cost, stonks, and it's over. It's really just over. There's nothing to live for. It's over. Highlights. I took a economics class a few times. I previously mentioned. I'll talk about that. What I learned from that. Minimalism. The idea of minimizing the things you need to live with, because living with things is expensive, and if you don't need it, don't buy it. Talking about the future and how there's nothing to live for, there's nothing happening. It's over. Global warming. My house. I won't be able to afford a house. And then finally, talk about inflation a little bit. Oh yeah, so in high school, I took an economics class. Something I remember distinctively was, on average, the stock market doubles every 7 years, which essentially translates to every dollar you put into the stock market after 7 years will be doubled, and then another 7 years pass, that money will double, and it will keep doubling until you die of a heart attack at the age of 60 and don't use it. Um, but put that into perspective. If you put a dollar in at the age of 18, you will get $6 by the time you retire at the age of 60. And most people don't really care about the future, or how their money is going to be affected outside of, oh, I see money in my bank account, money good. Or they let the money sit there in their bank account growing slowly, and they don't put it into anything that's going to scale, like some stock or something. We've got a meme here about how I will never financially recover from this purchase of milk and bread, because these people don't make budgets and think about their expenses coming in, going out, and the money coming in. And again, another meme here of how these doomers think there's no hope. It's hopeless. I'll never own a house. So, what options exist to deal with the fatalism of, oh, I can't save money, or like, how will I ever afford any of this? Well, you could practice the concept of minimalism. Do you really need all your stuff? Honestly, like I have a mattress on the floor. There's no bed frame. It's very sad and depressing. Don't look in there. But do I need a box frame under it? Do I need it off the ground? I haven't found a good argument or reason to get it. I suppose if I bring a woman home, she's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Anyways, think about the other things you might not need. Like, you don't really need a whole bunch of dishes. I have like one plate, one bowl. I kind of don't have a lot of dishware, and it's a lot easier to deal with when I have to move. Um, Speaking of moving, look into options for cheaper and smaller places for renting. They're out there. It takes time. It takes effort. Yes, moving sucks, but that money you save will add up over time. Um, and let's be honest, really, how much stuff do you own that leads to your happiness? I've got some boxes that I packed up from college that I honestly have never unpacked, and it's been like 4 years. I should probably just dump them. I've literally moved this packed box several times in my life. And that stuff that's in there that could be meaningful, well, if it's sitting in a box, does it provide anything? No, I probably should just toss them out. Point being, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. You need to embrace it if you want to get ahead. I also have an image here about men really think it's okay to live like this, and it's a pretty accurate representation of how I like to live. I don't really have a couch or furniture. I have my gamer desk, my gaming PC, and like I have the router on the floor. I have a bunch of stuff on the floor that isn't really anything. Again, I guess looking depressing, having a depressing lifestyle, is the way to go with minimalism. Part two. What about women? As a man, I am attracted to women. How do I get women when I don't have any stuff? Fortunately, women happen to like money and stuff. Uh, you, all I'm asking for you to do is get a strong financial foundation. Practice this minimalistic lifestyle from like the age of 20 to 30. And fortunately, looking at the data, women happen to find older men more attractive. Now, whether that's because the actual age or because they happen to have more money and happen to have more stuff, they you're aiming for the same goal of having a castle or financial foundation which allows you to have a wife or a girlfriend or something in the future. So yeah, I know a lot of you doomer types are the type to be like, oh, if I hit the age of 30, God forbid, it's over. Um, but like, life is a snowball. You start small and you gotta get it growing. And the faster and bigger you get it early on in life, the bigger avalanche you'll have by the end of life. Maybe you can be the boomer with the Bugatti. So I've mentioned the future. Having a strong financial foundation. I previously stated $1 at the age of 18 is worth $6 at the age of 60. Uh, that will lead you to having more money at the end of life. But I want to be happy in life. Why should I bother saving money now instead of blowing it all on Funko Pops, the greatest thing on the planet? By practicing minimalism, you'll have an easier access to the little things in life. You'll be a lot happier with those smaller purchases that are for entertainment, or you going out to eat once in a while. More as a treat and less of a I'm ordering out every night type of thing. Because once that becomes the norm, it's no longer special. Uh, the foundation is you probably want to prevent reckless spending. I personally have managed to make an average cost of living around $16,000 a year. That's with my rent of $750 a month plus all the utilities and Wi-Fi and stuff I gotta pay for. Uh, Other expenses like car insurance. I think my overall expenses are relatively accounted for, and then I add like an extra 10% because, uh, I'm lazy and I'm probably not gonna have as good spending habits as on paper. And the main goal behind that is have have an eyeball of what your expenses are gonna look like, because knowing is half the battle. You don't know all your money is disappearing too. That's a big problem. Another option would be making the harder decisions to have roommates. Roommates will help give you access to cheaper housing. I My first year out of college, I got like a expensive apartment is like $1,100 a month, and then I had to pay for everything else with it. It was about $1,300 a month. And after a year of living in that, I thought, hey, there's a lot of space that I don't use, and space I have to heat. And like I took a critical look of, well, maybe I should save money by getting roommates or like going to a cheaper place. And afterwards, I my next housing arrangement was I had roommates that were essentially college students for 3 years, 2 years, something like that. And you know, three other dudes. Those guys mind their own business. There wasn't really any drama or hassle. It wasn't really a party house either. So like it was a great financial decision. Of the rent was like $650 a month, and everything was included, which is really nice. And I didn't have to worry about rationing electricity and stuff. Um, so, anyways, yeah, if you live in a cardboard box the rest of your life, it's very cheap. Maybe you could buy the new Switch. Um, the other thing about saving money for the future is inflation. The U.S. dollar is only going to get weaker over time because they keep printing more money. This is honestly just a fact at this point. The rate of inflation will vary, but the fact is the dollar, you will lose value by just having it sit in a bank account forever. And this is why you should put money into something that will scale with inflation, like the stock market, Bitcoin, stuff like that. If you, I would suggest looking into understanding what Bitcoin is and what good it has as a financial coin or like currency, because it will not get inflated, because there's a limited amount of them. And see, holding the Bitcoin in theory will only, the price of it will only go up over time. Yeah, and I have the most sad, depressing quote here from myself. The McChicken will never be $1 again. It's tragic. I grieve every day for our loss. In conclusion, think about how much worse the McChicken will cost in the future, and fight for every dollar. Look into investing and saving money. Too many people just let it sit in their bank account, or they do not care. Yeah, I get you're tired at the end of the day. You just want to watch your anime or play with your Funko Pops, but like literally, your time, you will thank yourself in the future for looking into this and understanding what you should be doing with your finances. Hal, take an economics class. If you like that video, please feel free to donate a comment, donate a like, donate a share, donate a subscription. It's free and it will support the channel.